Well, hello there, and welcome back to another stream. Forgive me, I'm just adjusting volume level. Bad. I think that's coming through pretty quiet on it. Yeah, either way. Either way. Hello, 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 hello. Hello to you, Outcast Cantina, if you are still here. Anyways, just gonna be chilling, making some KOTOR movie stuff. So, yeah, don't mind me. We shall, ingest that. I'm actually gonna go ahead. I don't normally listen to music while I work. I don't normally operate like that. I'm kind of strange, I suppose. I think I'm just gonna do away with that. So, display captain. You have no background noise while you do stuff? No, I kind of like to be able to hear what's going on in the house. I always get, like, really distracted by it. Really, really distracted. Yeah, I know. Best person. Welcome, by the way, Effect. Good to see you. Good to see you. I can probably put some on. I just really don't want it. I ended up. Let me find some. Let me. Where we had a playlist. Go with this. Might be able to vibe with this, you know? Mass Effect title music. Hasn't let us down so far. Alright. I actually wanted to show you is this. This is essentially the environment that we're going to, or at least starting to, like the observation deck, or I don't want to call it a bridge deck. I'm not even sure if the Starforge has a bridge. Like an observation deck, a view deck, a laboratory maybe. This room here from Knights of the you probably could. We're going to be recreating this room. Walkway, full metal pillars or pipework, is that? Kind of square, but that piping. Don't know if I'm going to be including the hovering former Jedi at Malak. Not actually sure if that's going to be part of the movie. I think we're going to go a little bit of a different direction in terms of what happens at the conversation. Just you know, I really should have used this as a reference shot for the back of Malak. That's actually, I think I will. I will actually do a cheeky deeper future reference. I was actually struggling to find one before, and just look at this. We just right there. Yeah, I just pulled this up. Reference. Yeah, essentially this room kind of stood like quite at the top there. I need to keep in mind looking at that perspective there. Kind of stay. I can. swap between the two perspectives. Your speaking audio cuts out now and then. Oh, really? Probably the... There we go. That should probably stop now. I just put on a couple of default filters because I haven't set up OBS in quite a while. It all went back to default. Yeah, so forgive me if you hear a lot of mouth clacking. I haven't adjusted the sensitivity for that. It was just a default noise gate thing. Appreciate you saying that, effect. What's up, Outcast? Glad you've just sat down. That's essentially what I've just done. I've actually got a coffee here. I was just explaining that we're going to be recreating this scene from the Starforge. Kind of the walkway, the ramps and stuff. Do you think these ramps are like kind of connected to the walls? Do you think there's like a drop? Maybe? It might have been a smarter idea to actually get here in the game myself and look around. I probably will do that. I know that I am going to do a KOTOR playthrough at some point, so yeah, we probably should do that just for the sake of consistency, right? But these are pretty good reference shots, to be fair. These are pretty clear. I'm just soaking in a lot of the details, because otherwise I'm going to cycle back and forth quite a lot between Blender and this. I just want to really soak up the environment a little bit. I've already been looking at it quite a lot, of course, and even some of the other areas of the Starforge interior, and I've even experimented with some of it, but I'm not going to lie, most of what I've experimented with hasn't quite come out the way that I wanted it to, and I feel like that's because I committed to a certain modeling type, and I've since kind of not necessarily abandoned that, but I've become less strict with myself. So rather than make things complicated, I'm just gonna kind of make things as they need to be made. It's probably just jargon to you right now, but it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Okay, I think probably what I will do is probably start with this, the doorway, right? Probably start with that, create the door, because having the door just open and stuff, that's easy. That's easy stuff. And this is like a two-part door as well, so like these outer lock bits, they would undo first and then it would kind of open up. We can confirm that if we just check it a little bit. Ah, missed it. There we go. Yeah, so if you see that again, so these locking like mechanism bits, they kind of undo first and then the door releases. Aha, so it goes downwards. I think that probably does make more sense given how that's kind of created. Yeah, so that goes down and they go diagonally, and then there's like a top piece. Is that a top piece? That is not a top piece. That is just the next part of the hallway there, isn't it? No, there is a top piece. There is. It was dark in the background there. I didn't quite see it. So it's like a spinning motion as well on the inside. Kind of. So like this bit here turns, and then there's some locks up here that kind of move, and then it all opens up. That's awesome. That's really cool. So we're going to be essentially creating that stuff. Go ahead and merge those windows again. There we go. Jedi Academy map did this. Look at the Jedi Academy map. The Jedi Academy map? Jedi Academy Starforge map? Are there videos on this? I'm not immediately seeing anything on this. But I would be interested to see that. Do you know where I can find that outcast? Right. I think it's probably going to be best to take a couple of reference photos here. Just gonna grab one. I'll just take that like that. Boom. They did actually change the name of this, didn't they? We'll just go ahead and do a search. Image mesh plane. Thank you very much. That's what I want. Maybe I have to be in material view to see that. That's annoying. Don't look quite right either, does it? This is what they get for changing things. That's better. That's much better. Much better. Right. So again, we're going to start with that walkway and the door area. So if I just make a really quick kind of, let me move the reference photo out of the way here. Probably just make that a bit bigger so we can see that, right? So I'll just make something nice and quick that kind of resembles this walkway. Probably needs to be quite long. That is a lengthy walkway. 30 meters. We'll come back to the length of that, but either way, we can kind of merge that into other objects if it happens to be too long, so that's not exactly terrible. We can kind of achieve that gridded look as well that the reference photo has. See, it's kind of gridded, right? And then it has these lines that go across, lines. I actually already tried to make a version of this for a previous scene, and again, that original version didn't quite come out the way that I wanted it to. Didn't look too great. I mean, it wasn't necessarily bad, it wasn't what I wanted, you know? It wasn't what I wanted. Yeah. So we'll probably easier to make that first and go with the cylinder. I do love my cylinders. Hello. We are working on the y-axis today. I normally work on the x-axis, but that's fine. That's okay. So I'll do 1, 2, 3. Could do insets. Insets are additions. I think we'll go with insets and keep this a bit cleaner. Right. So let's just make that nice and big first, of course. So it's not quite surround, is it? It's much more. What's the word? I'm not sure what the word is. You know what I mean? It's not quite surround. It's a little bit more flat, right? We can achieve that. We just kind of... Probably what I should have done is when creating the cylinder, is if we just try to help match what we're gonna need here. Make it a little bit more like that, I think. That'll do. I can smooth it out later, so that's not a huge issue right now. So the walkway actually does go in through the door area as well, so I need to consider that too. So it needs to be quite big. Why are you not mirroring? Being a slight pain there. There we go. That's closer. That's much closer. Hey, what's up, Shadow Cup? Welcome, welcome, welcome. The more I look at this, the more I feel like I should have just used the smooth cylinder to begin with, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I will fix that at the end, so don't worry. It's going to look jagged for now. It's going to look jagged just for now. Hello, Mr. Curious. Welcome back. Hope you're doing good. Actually, no. It's bugging me too much. And also, it's gonna just kind of get in the way with what I need to do in a moment. So let me just do it like this. God, I do love arguing with myself. Brilliant, right? Alright. Let's do this again. Lollipop, lollipop. Well then. Did you hear the response about the character modernization response to the modernization? That was a lot of modernization. I'm not sure I did hear any kind of response. Tell me about it. What did you hear, my friend? What did you hear that we do not know? It feels like it's bigger at the top end than it is at the bottom end, so let's just kind of... There we go. Maybe not so much. Bring that back out a bit. There we are. There we are. Alright, cool. So basically what I wanted to do is this. I'm gonna go ahead and do an inset. We can add the other bits on a little bit later. I'll keep this nice and simple. I haven't really been keeping too up to date with the forum thread, I'm not gonna lie, unless there's anything to do with the story update. If there's anything to do with the story update happening, then definitely let me know. Definitely. So this here is the interior part, like the lights and stuff. Okay, we can do it from here. I was just gonna make another object and just kind of go through this, but I think we'll just do it like this. Like that. And then we need to kind of make this smaller. So the walkway needs to actually be bigger. It needs to be wider, even. Like here, and I'm also going to bring it lower. I don't think it goes all the way down, but it does go pretty low. So what we'll need to do here is just kind of move this. I'll just do that a little bit more evenly. There we go. But does that look too off in terms of shape? I don't think it does. I think we can actually, if we grab this and do that, we can recreate that kind of shape that it had originally. And let's just grab these sides. There we go. There. Excellent. So I'm thinking also these parts here need to be a little bit further apart. So let's just... Yep. No. Yes, there we go. And that is what I was looking for. So it took over 60 pages of backlash for the response. Yeah, I did actually watch Boomy's video, so I guess I'm a little up to date. All done and ready to watch. Build be a shrubbery, sir. You want a shrubbery made? Take one Starforge observation deck. Oh, no, I don't know the reference. Is this a reference to something? It's a reference. But what is it referencing? Kind of got like a weird shaped thing there, right? So we'll make that, I guess. This is actually somewhat above the door frame, isn't it? We didn't finish making the doorway bit. Let me just crack on with that first. So I've actually got something I can look at, kind of thing. Yeah, there we go. So it goes underneath this bit. And then when it gets to there, it goes bigger. Makes total sense. Total sense. And then it just kind of matches along here. So I guess what we should do is make it roughly the same size as the actual intrusions I've already made. Kind of like that. We can fix these overlapping issues when it comes to merging them. Oh no, what did I miss, Outcast? My favourite SWTOR character story? Today it is the Sith Inquisitor. You didn't post, but been watching the thread for about a month. Fair enough, Mr. Curious. Fair enough. Definitely let me know if anything interesting goes down, you know? Let me know about that. It just kind of gets bigger. Hard to tell how far up that goes, but I'm going to assume it's up, you know? So let's do some subdivides on it. And we shall... Yeah. Excuse me. Cool. Just want to be able to see the difference in that. Let's do that again, shall we? Excellent. Guess you're just gonna have to protrude out a little bit like that, huh? There we go. Just makes things easier to look at for now. Hey, what's up, Cyberblade? Welcome, welcome. Monty Python ringing any bells? Oh man, I've seen like a third of one of those movies, and I know you're gonna hate me for it, but yeah, I really need to watch them. It's not something I've actually gotten around to doing just yet. I've only ever seen like just clips and that kind of thing. What publisher would I send it to? Probably like Rockstar or something. Probably, you know? Right, I think what we'll do here is probably just have that walkway go all the way. Because that's kind of what it needs to do. Hey, Meat Puppet. Appreciate you, man. Always supporting the channel. "20 months as a Darth of the Sith." Crazy. Appreciate you. So I was thinking, Outcast. Huge amount of time. Huge. It's huge. That doesn't look too bad. That looks okay. Do Sith Lords pay taxes? That's an interesting question. I think they make contributions to the Empire. But I think it's just like straight up part of their culture and not necessarily like a thing like we do, like tax. I suppose you could liken it to that though, right? Yeah, pay tribute, that kind of thing. It's seen differently, you know. Darwinism. Oh god, Mr. Curious, tell me about it, right? Crazy that we're doing that. Crazy. Okay, let's continue modeling, shall we? We have the shape, in essence. That does need to be the door. So the door will go here. Doesn't look brilliant from this side, does it? But the door will cover it. The door will cover it. Chist-hast negotiations. The Sith IRS is no joke. Yeah, Mr. Curious, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Certainly do need better events. I don't think Disney and Lucasfilm are necessarily less restrictive or more restrictive. I think it's all about how you go about doing your fan animation. I do know that the Warhammer universe has it pretty rough. But there tends to be, I could be wrong, I'm not totally informed, but there tends to be like a form of etiquette that you would follow, like not monetizing the project directly, not using official things like from the actual thing itself, Like everything that you make for your movie and or whatever it is has to be made by you. It can't be taken from something that already existed. How could I put that? Oh, okay, here's a good one. So, like, for example, the Darth Malak model from the Knights of the Old Republic game, if I was to directly take that from the game and use it in the movie, technically that would be crossing the line. Like, the way that you make it okay, I say in quotational marks, is by making it yourself. That's literally the way that you have to do it. So if you make your own Darth Malak model, then it's fair game, basically. But obviously that's not to say that you still own Darth Malak, because you don't own Darth Malak at all, and you wouldn't be able to sell that model or anything. I do think the rules are a bit different on 3D printed stuff. I think if you're printing stuff out, you're allowed to sell that as a service, which could be like a Darth Malak, for example. Yeah, they could technically claim your model. If they wanted to do that, that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. They own the IP, so, you know. Although it would still be common courtesy, you would think, to credit the owner. I'm just going to take another look at the video perspective. Like modern Bethesda games, you can remake older games and newer games, but you need to create the assets. You can't use assets from other Bethesda games for a mod of another game. Yes, that's technically it. As complex and intricate as that is, that's pretty much it. So there's like a smooth background and then like a graded background. And then it definitely kind of domes out. Mass Effect music is the best? Ah, I appreciate you saying that. Not everybody likes it. Get some complaints in the comments sometimes. So, by the way, Luke, welcome. So kind of at the end of here, I just need to get a few things in place just because it'll help me visually. Kind of like over here, there's a huge walking area. Not too huge, but kind of huge. And basically, doesn't need to be perfect right now. So Revan walks across that and then virtually stands here at the end of the walkway. Malak is roughly stood somewhere here. And then directly behind them is even more area. But that area has the grates on it, whereas this one is like a smooth surface. But what we'll do is just shape that a little bit more accordingly. Just bring that here. Size it up. Kind of like that. Just bring that down. And then it kind of just needs to match this. But we can make it a little bit higher, that's fine. And then, what we shall do. Can whack? No? Didn't want to whack. Okay, let's do that differently. Can I just not see it? Is that the problem? What's the problem here? Interesting. Okay. Are you gonna do the voice of Malak, or are you gonna use whichever voice are you gonna use AI? We have a voice actor for Malak. We have one. How is Mrs. Sam? All healthy? Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's sleeping right now, of course, because it's pretty late. But yeah, she's good. Thanks for asking. So wait, Sam, what are we gonna do about music? That's actually a good question, Outcast. I've had some thoughts about that already, and I'm fully considering having the music remastered by a friend. Failing that, we will do our best to get away with using what we can from the original game, because as far as I know, and this might not, maybe it's not the case, I don't know, but you can use a lot of that old music on YouTube, and I have done before now, and there are no copyright claims. There tends to be 0 issues. Even on those concept reels that we've done, none of them have been copyright claimed for the KOTOR music that we put in there. And I used some of the Kashyyyk music as well. So, I don't know how slippery that slope is just yet, but if we can get away with it, then I'll definitely use some of it. Absolutely. What's up, Zodus? Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I think you need to be made moderator again, right? All of our moderators were removed back when the hack happened. Kind of like an automatic process. Hey you, stop barking. It's late at night, mate. Don't bark. No barking. Does that get copyrighted? Not the music of the games. Yep, I think that's pretty much true, Elmaster. How is life? It's okay. It's okay. How's things with you, Zodus? Best game up to Shadow River. I don't know about that, Mr. Curious. I have no idea. I do not know. Swinging back to the Darth Malak voice actor. Why don't you guys go ahead and take a little listen? I think it's this one.
The search for best.
Yes, it is. Let me turn that up. This could be loud. I'm not sure how loud this is going to be. Let's find out.
The search for Bastila is taking too long. We cannot risk her escaping terrorists. Destroy the entire planet.
Yeah, so that is the... I'm going to turn that up. I don't think that was very loud. Let's go again.
The search for Bastila is taking too long. We cannot risk her escaping terrorists. Destroy the entire planet.
That is our Darth Malak voice actor. Also known as Pizza Jedi. We are yet to do an official reveal for this character, but there's your little sneaky peeky. I'll put the Mass Effect music back on now. Let me know if that's too loud or too quiet. Sounds nice, not a carbon copy of the original voice, but it sounds nice. Exactly. Exactly. I like the turn that he's got, and keep in mind that for this movie, it's going to have like quite a dark turn. It's not going to be like all butterflies and roses. It's going to be quite dark, if anything. You know, people are going to die, man. What do you think this is? This is a battle. It's a war. People die. Yeah, it's going to be pretty dark. And I've got confidence that this voice actor is going to pull off a lot of the immersion that I need. Yeah. Yeah. the cyberpunk advisor from Stellaris. I'm not familiar with that. Not familiar. Played through KOTOR so many times, can probably recite it word for word. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Knife. Knife. Excellent. How are you not the right size? I made you perfectly. How did this happen? Am I smarter than this? Not a huge fan of this edge. I think we will cover that with something. Alright, anyways, that's kind of like the area. So then there is also the ramps. And then the pipework that comes up. What should we do first? Maybe the pipework? Not sure if it's been said already, but will this be a film of the game? Essentially, yeah, it's the ending of KOTOR 1, the entire Starforge battle, the Republic fleet arriving, space battle carnage, Revan and friends basically storming the Starforge, taking on the droids, taking on the Sith, redeeming Bastila, and shutting down the Starforge. In the game, it kind of happened in a fashion of the hammerheads kind of congregated above the Starforge and like focused fire on one part, and that kind of destroyed everything. We will put that in the movie, but we're going to have other additional things that contribute to the final destruction. Such as HK will be doing something that may or may not help in terms of bringing down the shields, or doing something that is quite effective to a contribution to the battle. I believe one of the ideas I was playing with was something to do with the starship production. Because obviously the Starforge is a manufacturing machine, right? It creates fleets. And I was thinking maybe it would be cool to have a scene where, you know, there's just so many fighters coming out, pouring out of the Starforge, that Cartho Nassi and others have just got no option but to relay orders, you know, like, guys, you need to stop the production of these starships because we're being completely annihilated, you know, something like that. And then maybe HK goes and does something that will rectify that situation. Little side quest for HK, you know. While Jolie, Binder, Juhani, they'll be doing various other things. They're kind of with Revan as he goes along, but the group will be split up, and it'll be just Jolie and Juhani for a while, and Revan and HK, them two alone. The Bastila redemption, of course. Not too sure how huge that scene is going to be. Oh yeah, there will also be the scene between Malak and Bastila, of course. So that's going to be a fun one. Definitely going to be a fun one. Yes, as these are one-time scenes, something to keep in mind is he doesn't need to clean it or optimize it like a game level. Pretty much. Right? Because the Starforge is never going to be used again. I don't think we're ever going to come back to this once the movie is done. So you're kind of right in saying that. How unselected characters stayed on the Ebon Hawk. Be nice to see them help take down the Starforge in this. Exactly, Luke. Right? So for example, when the Ebon Hawk lands on the Starforge, the group essentially has a plan. you know? So, like, Mission Veo, she's so young. Revan doesn't want to risk her life. So she's like, you need to not be in this. You know, you're out of your depth here. And she refuses to leave and instead takes to the Ebon Hawk, pilots it into the space battle, and does what she can there. You know? There is this video of the Death Star exploding from the point of view of people inside, things like starfighters trying to flee but getting immolated before they get off the station. You plan something like that? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I might write that down. Okay, yeah, that's good. I've written that down because that's not something I've actually considered so far, I don't think. I've definitely considered the destruction of the Starforge from an exterior point of view. But now that you mention it, doing something potentially on the interior, as that destruction is happening, it's probably something we should do. I mean, I already intended on having like some kind of chaos happening on the inside, right? Because there is a battle happening. But maybe, yeah, on that level, people trying to escape. Yeah, I like that. It adds more to the darkness level of that as well, I think. It reminds me of that part in the first Bane book, where Giffany kind of realizes that what's going on with the fort bomb ritual is a bit fishy, and she tries to leave, but it goes off and catches her anyways. Yeah, you just briefly reminded me of that. Yeah, it's a cool idea. Cool idea, honestly. You should be making this movie. What's going on? So next, we kind of want to make some of these ramps, right? I tell you what, let's not do that because they're already shaped. I was just gonna duplicate that, but no, I can't do that. Never mind. Kind of make them roughly the same. Right. Bring these out. So how far out are they exactly? Not hugely far out. Far out enough. Yeah, so unselected characters being kind of left on the ship. That's not gonna happen in the movie. Carthonasi's also going to be piloting the Ebon Hawk with Mission. Zalbar's a little bit undecided. I don't think he's going to be so much in the movie as much as he's going to be heard in the movie, unfortunately. I'm going to see how that one goes. I haven't even started on his character model yet, so that one's kind of up in the air. But it could be the case that with Zalbar, maybe he's just on the guns of the Ebon Hawk or something, and he is heard and not seen. Undecided. But hopefully he will be in it, right? Because that's the goal, to have everybody be seen in the movie. Get Zalbar on the turret. Exactly. Canderous, he's going to see a kind of like basilisk ship, if you will. And he's going to take that immediately. He's going to steal it and go into the space fight. So Canderous will be doing something as well that's contributing. He's probably going to go out there and take out a lot of fires if anything. Maybe help take down some capital ships in an epic way. A Clone Wars style model would be cool for him. The way they handled Wookiees. Okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it, because they didn't use those type of particle effects, did they, in Clone Wars? Because so far, I have actually been using particle effects to an extent, but you could be onto something in terms of replicating the Clone Wars style. I definitely need to play with that. I do need to play with that. If I don't, definitely remind me, you know? I'm not entirely sure how long these are going to need to be, but there's a way to find out. That seems good. And then I got platforms at the bottom, and you can walk around those, I believe. To an extent. So it would kind of basically be doing this. Tell you what, let's align it up top first. That small little steppish bit there is totally fine. Can make it a little bit closer though. Totally fine, totally acceptable. Just gonna kind of come down here. Bring this down. Needs to meet it a little bit more. Really don't like working with the snapping tools, I'm not gonna lie. I very much prefer to be able to just freehand. Because merging these models is inconsequential when it comes to the final act. I mean, literally. That is now one model. See what I mean? This now coexists. Ah, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. I think I've said it before, but yeah, my kind of method of working is a little unorthodox, you know? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would look at what I'm doing and yell at me. You're doing it wrong. Probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. So which Revan is used in the video? A classical Jedi Knight or a gunslinger doing a speedrun? So the visuals for Revan will be quite mysterious in the movie. And I hesitate to even offer more details, to be fair. He will be a mysterious character. Here's what I will tell you about Revan. He's gonna be in the movie. There you go. It was hard to get him to show up at first, but after negotiations, we was able to bring him in. Light, grey or dark, all of the above. All of the above. So I think what I'm gonna do actually is something very similar here. Dolito. And we'll just mirror that as well. And then for my next trick, doesn't necessarily matter how far down that goes at the moment. Just do it like that. So it is starting to take shape. Very basic shape. They do have access to the fanfiction channel. Yeah, I think they do have access, but for some reason they can't see anything that was already posted in there. So they can see it. Sorry, they can't see it. They can get into the channel and they can post like their own stuff and then see things from there. But they can't see what was in there prior to joining or having access to that channel. Which I think is basically what the issue was. I appreciate that, Cyberblade. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. As a setting in their roles, yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. So the walls have these kind of things, we'll call them awnings. Have these awning things coming off of them. There's lights everywhere as well in this room, and I love that. So many lights. I think what we'll do next is probably this pipeworky stuff, which is QB. Why is it QB? Do we agree that this is pipeworks? Because it can't be framing. If it was like structural framing, surely it would be all neat and up straight. It's definitely pipes, right? Like, I'm not looking at this wrong. Yeah, pipes. We agree it's pipes. So I'm gonna make pipes. In the rebuild of it in Jedi Academy, it was pipes. Okay, cool. Let's all I needed to know. Just currently I don't have that upward visual perspective. So this is definitely something we're going to swing back around to when I do the playthrough of KOTOR, just to make sure that everything's right. It's pipes to the Jedi pods now. Ooh, interesting. There is pipes to the Jedi pods there. Ooh, you could be onto something. I'm going to need confirmation of that. So do these pipes join up with those pipes? Because if they do, then that's a big deal. I need to have that. Interesting. Interesting. And it's maybe a little bit demeaning, but once Malik is defeated, he will have his jaw implant removed to showcase the damage he received, or that would be too much of a hassle. So definitely something I thought about. In terms of overall damage and what that's going to look like, that's not necessarily something I've got to just yet. I have gotten around to the initial planning of attacks in the fight and like kind of who's going to be hit by a force lightning strike and such. So there will be something visually to imply that those things have happened. No information on that right now though, I don't think. It could be maybe the jaw casing gets damaged in some way. I don't know if I'm going to have it in such a manner where he would have the jaw casing removed. Not sure about that. I'll definitely put some thought into this. But if the jaw casing was to be removed, I would essentially have to create a new asset for that. It would have to be like a new head. It's not a bad thing. It's just something I need to do. It's not something I've thought about though so far. I think we need to import the original set and have a look. Wait, what? What are we doing? Importing the original set? Yep, fair enough effect. Appreciate that. I don't know how we can get that perspective. Get this guy to look around. I'm just watching this video. I'll move it here so you guys can see too. I'm just looking around for where everything is. They go up to kind of meet themselves. Okay. Excellent. 10 around, please. 10 around. Excellent. Excellent view. Okay, so the pipes kind of meet and then go all the way up. And then there are pipes in these pod things. But again, I'm not sure if these pods are even going to be in it. I think we're going to change that up a little bit. Okay. Maybe that is structural. But it does look like pipes. So why would it be structural, right? Like, what's it even holding? Okay, so it's not structural. And I think we agree that it's pipes. Come on, ads. I don't think it's necessarily a hassle. Because there's more pipes there. Whoa. Pipes. So do you think these pipes go up to the top and then just kind of feed themselves back down on the sides here? I think I'm just going to have them go up. This is a good perspective though. So they go up and then kind of meet this beam. It's like this beam here. Right across. Interesting. Hell yeah, jet set. Gotta have the good vibes going here. Just gotta. Render pipes, just detail. Okay. I'm not gonna put too much thought into it. I don't need to complicate this. You guess those pipes bring oxygen to the room? Do you know what? That's a great way of looking at it. It's a brilliant way of looking at it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like more there. Let me go back to that other view. Guy was stood right next to him earlier on. Here it is. I'll let you guys see it too. 1, 2, 3, 4, at the very least. He'll get up here and turn around and we'll see it much better. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one further out, a fifth one. And I'm pretty sure they're symmetrical. I'm pretty sure they're the same at each side. So there's 5 either side. They appear to be symmetrical, but I could be wrong on that, because that one's kind of sticking out there. Interesting. It's at Malgus all day every day versus Malak. That's an interesting one, because Malak is a very good swordsman. Interesting. Malgus would probably take the win in his peak. He's got a lot of more experience, I think, but they are both kind of tempered by wars. Ooh, I don't know. It could go either way. Could go either way, you know. Malak might surprise you on this one. It might come down to who is the strongest in terms of force power, I think. Alright, let's create some pipes. Let's do cylinders. You know? Normally when you watch guides, they tell you to use curves. But curves can be awkward to texture. Not always, but can be. I'll make them big-ish, but not too big. I think that's too big. Bring that up like that. They do also go down, don't they? Do they go down? They do go down. Okay. I can add on to that at the end. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. Might need to throw a pizza in the oven or something. to the right a bit. Cool. Basically at the top. We're just moving. Kind of like this. And then as each one gets further back, they will need to lean more forward to meet this one. But also some of them kind of bend outwards. I think we'll leave the first one as is. That's fine for now. Order takeout, Gnuro Tsu's chicken. I don't think any takeaways are open at this time, unfortunately. It's nearly 1 AM. Domino's is probably open. Don't think I could order that though. I'd get into trouble. I'd definitely get into trouble if I don't share a Domino's. Alright, let's just tidy this up a bit, shall we? Grab all of this. Just go with ground. Just keep it simple. Doorway. Pipes. A way to describe the first fight between Darth Revan and Bastila is that Revan was cocky until he got shot by Malik's ship, and then Bastila brushed what remained of Darth Revan with a toothbrush. Yeah, he got totally sabotaged. We'll never know who was the better between Bastila and Revan, unfortunately. Alright, so we're gonna bend this one out a bit, like that. Then we'll also have a bit of fun with this, I think. Put that there. Ooh, should we bring it in tighter, maybe? Like this. I don't mind that. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. It's also sticking out a bit. Go for a little bit more deformation, maybe. Just do that again. Make it look convincing, you know. It's not too bad. I think that might be true, Luke, but I'm not sure if that happens visually with the pipes. It's not totally evident where they're leading to, because it appears to be that they connect to like a pillar thing at the top. I'll tell you what, let's make that just so we have something for reference. I've hidden it by accident. it's kind of like that. To be fair, it's going to be bigger because there's more to be added on just yet. So we'll just go with a safe size like this for now. And we'll do this. Kind of like that. And then that. I'll just reconnect that up. Not quite like that, though. So something kind of like this. Or at least that's how it appears. Something kind of like that. Yeah. Satil is quite humble and wise, and Satil didn't leave the Jedi Order to have a child, right? Bastila Shan did. Fair enough, in Star Wars The Old Republic, the game, they kind of imply that she went back as a Jedi, but the Revan novel would have you think differently. Okay, I need more of these. Okay. Let's do a little bit with this one. Bring it over here with his friends. I'm going to bring that one in a bit further though. But this one was a little bit more crooked. Yeah. And it also starts much further back. So it's like that, and then it's like already rotated a little bit. And then it's like deeply formed like that. And we'll take this one and we'll do some more bendy bits. Yeah. Bit more of a unique looking one there. Yeah, they did actually do some developer blogs or articles even, which you can find on the official site Outcast Cantina. And there's actually one between Jace Malcolm and Ferron Shan. And yeah, it doesn't go too hard on it, but it does a little bit of that relationship-y stuff there. I actually made a video on it. You're not looking very round anymore, are you? Better. Excellent. Excellent. We'll see how it looks symmetrized first. Yeah. That looks okay. It'll look a lot better with the textures on it. I was just saying that there's an article on the official KOTOR site about Theron and his relationship with his dad, J.S. Malcolm. It doesn't so much go hard on it, but yeah. We are recreating one of the rooms from the Starforge. Well, at least we're just doing the basic modelling. Very, very basic modelling. Capture what we need, basically, with very simple shapes. And from there, we detail it. You know, add detail where necessary. It's for an upcoming fan movie that I am making. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good old blockbuster. We haven't done a terrible job so far. So these are going to need to be lower down. Just like that. But for now. Need to double check that when going through the game. The floor. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Just for now. Hello. What happened here? Oh, you gotta love Blender sometimes. What the hell happened? We touched nothing. Ah, okay. Okay, I see. I see. Wow. Wires got tangled. It saved the faces that we had selected from earlier, and it dragged them with it when I moved them down. Incredible. That top one looks quite thick now. Jesus Christ. Going far too huge. All right. It's better. Better. Malik versus Revan from Unreal Cinema was really cool. You're not wrong. That was very cool. Very cool indeed. Is it hard to learn Blender? I'm art illiterate, i.e. I can't draw stick figures. So would that complicate me learning? No. No, it wouldn't. See, the thing is... excuse me. In the realm of software, there are tools. Tools that help you achieve your goal. But when it comes to just being art illiterate, right? Or art literate, rather. And just drawing and that kind of thing. There are no tools. There are just you. You drawing the picture and that kind of thing. Obviously your pens and pencils, or whatever. But yeah, when using software, there are a lot of things to help you achieve the desired outcome. So no, you don't necessarily need to be able to draw anything. So I can't draw anything more than stick figures either. I'm not terrible, you know. I'm not bad at drawing things. Certainly not Picasso, but yeah, I can sketch to an extent. But yeah, no, you don't need to be able to do any of that. I mean, it certainly helps, like, because if you can, then you can go draw it before you make it in the software, you know, because drawing it would be easier than making it. You know, making it would take you hours, whereas just sketching it out would only take you like 25-30 minutes, if you were able to do that. Definitely try it out, at the very least, but it shouldn't stop you from being able to learn Blender. It's a very complicated program, of course, but once you get to grips with the basics, it becomes quite evident, self-explanatory. Or at least it does for me. It kind of does for me. And it also has this thing with Blender, where you can get help or find out like what something does. There, online manual. So you can literally go to anything that you're confused with. This here, for example, is something to do with the mirror modifier. You would right click it, just go to the online manual, and it just takes you directly to the page and tells you everything about what that setting is, what it does, what it's capable of doing, which looks like jargon at the beginning but becomes incredibly useful later on. Super underestimated tip, that is. Literally, if you're struggling with anything at all, you can just click that online manual button, and yeah, it'll just bring you to a page that is relevant to what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna save it from here. And we will tackle this again tomorrow night. I really shouldn't have started streaming so late. It's like just gone 1 a.m. This is crazy. What was I thinking? I'm glad we made a start though, because I did need to start this one. It's quite important. I'm literally that tired I can't even see the folder that I need. There it is. There it is. Sorry, we'll just shove it in here. We'll call this one Starforge Observation Deck for now. And it will go in scenes. Right there. It will go right there. Excellent. The pipe's kind of squarish in the game. Might even be structural. Yeah, we was kind of thinking that. We kind of went through this, but then we all agreed that it's just low poly. But you're not wrong to say that, you know. The biggest hurdle of anything is to continue and keep going. Time improves practice. That's it. Like, usually what happens with people in Blender is when they start with something that's really ambitious. Even like a very low poly 3-second animation is out of your reach. Like, you need to start with the absolute bare bones basics before you even think about trying to start animation. You know, I might be going a bit hard on that, but learning those initial basics is truly important, because depending on how you define animation, it's relatively easy, right? Because if we was to define animation just as a moving object, right, then I could just quite simply have that there and then move it, I don't know, over there somewhere. Boom. Just keyframe it. Simple keyframes. And that is an animation. Whoa. Congratulations. Yeah, now a 3D artist, right? But no, like, there's a lot more to it than that. That's the basics of animation, for sure. But there's a lot more to it. Alright, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. So thank you for hanging out with me. It's cool to actually chat with people. Normally I'm a lot more focused, but I'm pretty tired, not going to lie. And I definitely need to eat. So I'm going to go fix those. And then we'll crack on tomorrow with more of this. Darth Malak reveal coming very soon. Of course. But yeah, thanks, guys. And I will catch you next time. Peace out.